Things were looking pretty sad for sunshine this weekend. With this kind of weather, we weren't going to get too much work done, and definitely not too many trips up the mast. But the next day, things turned around a little bit, and we even got a little bit of wind, so she was able to get out in the bay and get her sails filled up with some wind and get a little water under her bow. While we've been spending the last few months working on Sunshine, that's not the only project we've had going on. We've also been working on a way to make fishing from the sailboat a little easier. We love handline fishing, but we wanted something that would help absorb the shock when a fish hits and makes the whole experience a bit more enjoyable. So we came up with a Handline Fishing Snubber. In the next segment, we'll show you how it works and explain what we've been doing behind the scenes to develop it. If you're interested in trying one for yourself, it's now available on Amazon. We will put a link in the description below so you can check it out.
All right, so what we have here is the SV Sunshine Snubber, and it's on this reel, and eventually we're going to have the kit so it includes the reel, but for right now, it's just the snubber. It's just this part from here. We've got some 550 cord. It's actually type 3, it's actually 550. And then it goes to this barrel swivel. And then here we've got a rubber tube, and the 550 cord runs all the way through. So you get some stretch, but eventually it's going to hit the end and it works as a stop. So what I do is, I want to get it underneath this lifeline here. I'm going to put it through, and the loop is 24 inches, so it will accommodate a huge cleat. And then on this end, I use a rubber band to hold everything together so it doesn't unspool while it's in the bag. I've got a bucktail here. On the end of the bucktail, we got about a 6-foot leader. I've got another barrel swivel. And so that barrel swivel goes into this corkscrew swivel. Pretty easy. Corkscrew swivel is a 4/0. I've got a 2/0 here. You can use bigger gear if you're fishing for bigger fish. So I'm gonna put on a pair of gloves just to protect my hands from the line. And I like these rubber palmed ones. So they're some kind of synthetic, sometimes cotton on the outside. Alaska commercial fishermen turned me onto this, and so we've been using it. They also work good for spear fishing. These are Jills, and they're a little bit older, but they're still working good. So then what we're gonna do is the spool is not attached to everything. So, but the rest of the line is now attached. So we're just gonna let that out, and then we'll let this play out. We've got 100 foot of line here. And what I'm using is bank line. Bank line is very strong, it's chemical resistant. All those, it's really great fishing line. At the end there's a little half hitch on there. And so now we're fishing. We usually run this off the other side of the boat because this buoy gets in the way, but the sun is much better on this side so you can see. But now we're fishing. When we're done fishing, we're just going to do the opposite. And the last and first thing I want to do is attach or detach this, because you don't want to lose the whole thing off the back. So I'm just going to take in a little bit of slack here, and then I want just a little bit of room, so I'm going to put a little half hitch in here. So now this line, you can see, just goes over. And now what I'm going to do is just reel this up. And this is where the gloves come in. Of course, if we catch a fish, it's even better. We'll just pull it in hand over hand until we get it in. But again, very small package, and we're fishing. As long as you don't get it hung up on something while you're going, it's great. And this is the reason for the gloves, because there is going to be some friction here. Bank line is great because, again, it's what commercial fishermen use to long line and things like that. It's impervious to chemicals. What the issue is, it doesn't have as much stretch as monofilament. The other issue is that you do get a little bit, it's called tarred bank line or tarred twisted twine. And so there is a little bit of tar. And so it's a little sticky, makes for holding the knots really well. But it also puts a little bit of residue, black residue on your fingers. And that only lasts for a little bit of time. You know, the first few times you use it. After that, it's all kind of wore out. So once we get this line in, we of course could just take the lure right off the reel and the leader, but you know I'm not going to do that because I'm a little bit lazy. So we're going to get that lure all wrapped on there. And now that we have everything wrapped and secure and in the boat, now we can take off the snubber and attach it, or I just put a couple wraps around the handrail, and then we can attach this rubber band to it. We put one end around the snubber, and then in this case we got a hook on the other end, so we can hook the other end around the rubber band, and there it's nice and secure and no line's going to fall off. So that is our new snubber, and then the hand line and the reel. We'll be coming out with those in a little bit. We're trying to decide if we should offer it in the tarred bank line like we have here, or if we're going to do it with monofilament. So let us know in the comments below which one you would prefer, the tarred bank line or the monofilament.
Well, there you go, folks. This is our Handline Snubber. Go check it out on Amazon and stay tuned till next week to see if we get any boat projects done. Thanks.